Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and today we're going to get back in the grapple build again. In the last video, we left off making our last two cylinder support brackets. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link to that in the description. But with that done, our two upper cylinder support mounts are done, our two lower cylinder support mounts are done, and our four upper arm mounts are done for the second arm. Today the plan is to try to get all the steel cut to assemble the rest of the arm. I don't have a ton of time today, so we'll see what we can get done. Hopefully we can get all cut, so that way in the next video we can start putting all this stuff together. So when I tacked together this first arm, I didn't have really any measurements on how long my arms were going to be. What I did is I just kind of put everything tacked in place and built it in place to fit it the way I wanted it to fit and the way it would look the best and work the best. So I think the best way to make the second arm is to actually take this off the bucket itself, bring it over the table, and use it as a template for the rest of my cuts. So the first thing I want to do is get the upper part, the hinge part of my arm, cut to length. And all I'm going to do is pin it to the first arm, and then I'm going to use a square. Mark that up like that, line it with my other arm, and then I can make a mark on the new arm. Now that I got that mark on my flat piece here on my arm, I can take the cutoff from one of the other arms, which will have the same angle. I can line that up with that mark, making sure that my two sides are square. And now I just got to make that cut. So I got my first cut done. I went and verified it with the other arm. It looks really good, really close. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that process. Alright, so I got the two top parts of the arm cut to length with the correct angle. Now I got to work on the vertical part. And I have one piece that's a cutoff that's long enough. So I should be able to just do a straight cut on that right to length. Unfortunately, I only have one piece that's long enough, so I'm going to have to cut a new one out of another piece. Now that I got the angles cut, I can go ahead and cut it to length using the bandsaw to get a nice straight cut. All right, so we got the top part of our arms cut to length. We got the bottom part of our arms cut to length. The next thing I want to cut is all the center supports in here. So we'll just grab a measurement of that and get those cut over on the bandsaw. So essentially we have everything cut that we need to put our second arm together. We got our upper cylinder supports that we made in the last video. We have the upper part of our arm, we got the lower part of our arm, we got our pieces that go in between the arms that hold our cylinder bracket, we got our lower cylinder brackets made, we have our arm brackets made, we have the gussets cut that'll go in the corner of the two arm pieces. We do have a couple other things I need to cut though. I had to widen the upper cylinder support to make room for the actual cylinder to be able to fit in between to get enough clearance. So I need to cut some longer pins. So I got to cut a longer pin for this one and for the other arm. I also need to cut 2 more spacers for the second arm to give me that space for that cylinder to fit. So let's go ahead and get those cut. So we got the new longer pins cut. They fit perfectly. I'm really happy with that. We got our 2 new spacers cut to match the other ones for the other side. That's great. I think all our parts are finally cut. We are ready to start assembling the other arm. I still need to drill a bunch of holes in all these pins. These ones still will need to get the bolt drilled through, and then almost all the other pins except for one still need to get all the grease holes drilled, the recess drilled for the grease fitting, threaded, all that good stuff, but that'll be for a different video. Unfortunately, I ran out of time today, but I'm happy I got all this cut, and hopefully next time we can start assembling this all together and really start making this grapple look like a complete unit. Just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.